So just come into a comfortable seat, however you like. If it's comfortable to have the legs crossed, then crossing the legs. If you want to sit up on something, maybe a cushion, anything like that, just get yourself comfortable. Just take a little time to settle in. So closing down the eyes, or maybe just allowing the gaze to drop down towards the ground, kind of like you're looking through the eyelashes. And just starting to settle into the seat bones. Noticing the connection between the seat bones and the ground. And just taking a little time to check in with the body. Noticing how you're feeling today. And noticing with curiosity, avoiding the temptation to fall into judgment, that it's good or bad, better than yesterday, worse than yesterday. Instead, just noticing that it's different, as it is every day and every time we check in with the body. Just gently scanning the body from head to toe. And as you scan through the body, checking in with any different feelings, feelings of tightness, feelings of a bit more space in the body. And as you move from the head all the way down, you might notice the places where you hold that unconscious tension. And as you move through the body, maybe encouraging yourself to just gently let go of that tension. Softening around the forehead and the eyes. Relaxing the jaw, maybe giving it a little wiggle from side to side. Softening the shoulders. Allowing the arms to be heavy, resting on the lap or on the legs, whatever's most comfortable. Softening around the belly. Allowing the hips and the legs to grow a little heavier. And starting to draw that intention a little bit further inwards to the breath now. Getting this sense as you breathe in, this gentle drawing up of energy through the seat bones, through the tailbone, all the way up the spine, through to the crown of the head, maybe sitting up just a little bit taller. And on the exhale, a sense of softening. So softening around any of that effort you've just made to sit up taller. And staying with this breath, this sense of inhaling to draw energy up from the ground through to the crown of the head. And the exhale, that softening around it. And you can imagine that this is the effort on the inhale, and the exhale is the letting go of effort. So finding this place of balance as we move through the practice, using the breath to find that little bit of strength and length on the inhale, and on the exhale, that letting go and softening, the idea of trying a little bit less. So staying with this breath, noticing as you're breathing if any of those places that hold tension have started to come back in. And if you notice any of that tension, just gently allowing it to let go. Especially noticing the belly, noticing if there's space for the breath. Noticing if the tendency is to lift the shoulders up when you breathe in. See if you can expand out a little bit more through the belly. Allowing your ribs to expand out to the side. And as you're ready on the next exhale, just allowing the chin to drop down towards the chest. And start to take some neck rolls, so allowing your neck to just gently move in opposite directions, maybe little semicircles, maybe full circles, allowing the head to drop back, exposing the throat, just kind of feeling out what feels good for you today. Remembering that every day it's going to feel different. And then that doesn't mean it's better or worse, it's just different. Every time we show up on the mat, there's going to be something different. If you've gone in one direction, making sure you've gone in the other direction. Just gently moving around in the head and the neck, closing the eyes if that's comfortable. Staying with the eyes closed. And noticing the sensations in the neck. And the next time that you bring your neck over to your left-hand side, just allowing the neck to gently rest there. And taking the opposite arm, the right arm, to gently reach away towards the ground. Maybe a little bit further up, maybe towards the kind of corner of the room. You're finding that space where you get the sweet spot, the place that feels best for you in the shoulder and the neck. Maybe you want to bring the hand up and gently rest it on the head. The option's there if it's there for you. And it feels nice. And we're not pulling with this top hand, we're just encouraging a little bit more length in the side of the head and the neck. Taking another couple of breaths here, soft in the belly. Again, that exhale just lets go of any excess effort, any trying. And then keeping the head and neck exactly where it is, dropping this top hand that's on the head, the left hand down to the ground to rest on the floor. Your right hand is going to come up and over, seeing where it gets to. The arm doesn't have to come over. If this isn't there for you right now, that's fine. Maybe just allowing the arm to drop down by the side. You're still getting this stretch down the side of the body. Letting the head and the neck go, maybe giving it a little wiggle. Drawing the shoulder blades and the shoulders down away from the ears. Avoid the temptation to get a little squishy here. Give yourself space. Again, just a couple more breaths here with the arm down or maybe the arms over. Exhale to let go of any effort. Maybe a little wiggle out in the jaw. And then inhaling, we're going to come up, bringing both arms up to the sky and then coming over to the other side. So coming straight into the side stretch. So the right hand comes down to the ground, left hand either comes over, or maybe we're just dropping it down to the side, still getting this stretch in the side body. The head's released. Maybe give it a wiggle if you need to. Couple of breaths here, just allowing your shoulders to draw away from the ears. And then as we inhale to come up, this top arm is going to reach away down towards the ground. The head is staying towards the shoulder. Coming into that neck stretch, that right arm could maybe come up and take a hold, resting on the top of the head. Again, you're finding that sweet spot for you. You might find a little wiggle around is needed to find that space that works for you. Again, closing the eyes if this is comfortable for you. Just noticing how it feels. Again, allowing that exhale to just release the tension, any effort, any trying. And then as you're ready, just allowing yourself to come back to center, allowing the head to come back to the center. Relaxing the arms down. We're going to take some shoulder rolls now. So just starting with the idea of thinking that the shoulders move in like a diamond shape. So rather than necessarily circles, there's a distinct, on the inhale, rounding the shoulders forwards, lifting them up, and on the exhale, they slide back and down. Now, both of our shoulders are not going to be equal, so it's okay if they feel a little bit wonky. But we're going to keep the hands on the shoulders here, just to give us a little bit more movement in the arms. See how it goes. Again, they won't be necessarily symmetrical. So we're going to inhale, roll the shoulders forwards, up, and on the exhale, releasing down. Closing the eyes again here. Finding this inhale to lift up, exhale to release. Option if you want to, inhaling up through the nose, exhaling out through the mouth. Open the mouth nice and wide to release the jaw. Couple more like this. Inhale, up through the nose. Exhaling through the mouth. Maybe a little wiggle in the jaw. Inhale, roll the shoulders up. Exhaling. Releasing. Allowing the hands to come down to the ground. Maybe give the head, the neck a little wiggle. Maybe a little wiggle of the shoulders. We're going to take our right hand now, bringing it behind us just to support us, to remind us to sit up tall. The left hand's going to cross over to the right knee, so opposite knee, coming into a twist. So same thing with the breath. The inhale is going to roll up through the spine, maybe sitting up a little bit taller. The exhale, you're just going to soften, relax the shoulders, allow yourself to relax into the twist. Naturally, the spine's going to shorten a little bit, so just let that happen. Maybe closing the eyes. We'll take a few breaths here, and you'll notice as you breathe, maybe the inhale, you come back off the twist a tiny bit, a little length in the spine, and then the exhale softens you back in. One more breath here. Inhale. Maybe an exhale out through the mouth if that feels good for you. And then inhaling, just bringing the arms round in the opposite direction. So hand comes to opposite knee. Fingertips come behind you. Inhale, rolls up through the spine, a little bit taller. Exhale, soften, release. Allow yourself to drop into the twist, letting it go. Taking breaths just like this. A little bit of height on the inhale. And exhale, softening, relaxing in. Soften the shoulders, relax the jaw. One more like this. Big inhale, rolls up. Exhale out through the mouth. Good. Actually, when you're ready, then inhaling to come over. We're going to bring it over into a tabletop position. So you could maybe bring the hands forwards and roll over the knees, or just allowing your feet to come out to the side, bringing yourself over into tabletop. Taking your time to get there, so there's no rush. Taking your time to kind of wiggle from side to side, finding your knees on the ground, hands down on the ground, and finding yourself around hip distance in the legs. So taking a look down to make sure hips, knees, feet are roughly in a line, and then that the shoulders are directly over the wrists here. As you put the weight through the hands, making sure that you're putting weight through all parts of the fingers, so really pushing down to spread the weight out. And then from here we'll move into cat-cow. So on the inhale, allowing the belly to drop. Inhaling and allowing the gaze to drop forwards, tailbone lifts. A little opening in the front of the body. And then exhaling to round the spine, dropping the chin to the chest. Closing the eyes if it's comfortable, moving with your own breath. So the inhale opens, arching in the spine. And then the exhale, rounding in the spine, dropping the chin to the chest. And just moving with your own breath. So the inhale is opening the chest, arching the back. And the exhale is rounding the spine, dropping the chin to the chest. If it feels good for you, you can move from here, maybe starting to take little hip circles, moving backwards a little bit, maybe coming forwards. Any kind of movement where you're bringing weight into different parts of the body, and again, closing the eyes if you haven't already. And you're using this just as we were right at the beginning when we were seated in stillness. We're using this as a way to check in with the body, to see what's going on. And there's no right or wrong way to do this. It's just kind of intuitive movement, however it feels good for you. And again, being curious. There's no right or wrong way to move. And also just noticing how the body feels today. Noticing what's going on. Again, it's not good or bad. It's not better or worse than yesterday or earlier today. It's just different. So listening out for any bits of feedback that may be useful. Things that tell you where to focus today. Maybe today this is the only practice you'll do. Maybe today you'll go on and do another couple of videos. So listening into the body and listening with how you feel and what you'd like today. And as and when you feel you're ready, you feel like you've had enough of this wiggling around, we'll bring ourselves back into child's pose. So allowing the toes to touch together. The knees can stay where they are. Maybe they want to come a little bit wider today or maybe closer together. The hands can rest where's comfortable. If reaching right forwards pulls on the shoulders, leave the hands a little bit closer towards you. And the forehead's going to come down to the ground. Closing your eyes and resting there for a couple of breaths. Allowing yourself to get into a really comfortable position. As you rest the forehead down, if the forehead doesn't come down to the ground, then you can rest it on something. Allowing your breath to soften again, noticing if there's any tension in the belly. Again, here, if it feels good, you can inhale through the nose, maybe exhaling out through the mouth, opening up the jaw, sighing it out with that audible sigh, maybe wiggling the jaw. And taking a few breaths just like this. On the exhale, if it feels good, to make a little bit of noise as you sigh out, really through the throat, just clearing anything there. Anything like that that feels good for you. Staying in your child's pose with the eyes closed. For as long as you like. Breathing and softening in the body. You can stay here until after the video. Maybe this is the end of the practice for you today. Or maybe moving on to the next video.